that was a lot of wasted work.
Now look, I should have known better. Last episode I spent a lot of time getting the other side of this board taken care of. With something like this waiting for me on this side, I should have known this board would have been warped. See, something like that is going to create a great deal of tension inside the board. And it's going to pull every direction. You'll see it in just a second from above. There it is. That's the grain. That's an enormous amount of grain changing. So yeah, it's going to twist from end to end. What I've done here is I've marked low spots. So when I start hitting the low spots, I know I've taken off a fair amount of material from the high spots. This, where my hands are, is a high spot. That will have to come down. That is a high spot right about here. I'm going to take that off. And another one just like it on the other side, catty-cornered. To be honest with you, I was kind of hoping that if I pushed down on the corner frequently enough, the board would just straighten itself out. But it doesn't work that way. This is another case for hand tools. See, if you run this through a typical consumer-grade planer, it will never deal with the high spots. It'll just, flatten the board out and take a layer off. But you have to take the high spots off. The high spots off the ends and the high spots off the middle, like I'm going to do before your very eyes in this video. What I'm doing now is I'm identifying all the high spots. And I'll indicate where the high spots are by filling in all the low spots with pencil marks. So that when I begin to take off some of the pencil marks, I'll know that I've taken off all the high spots. There are no such thing as low spots, to be honest. The plane does not recognize low spots. It recognizes only high spots. That's the only thing it knows. So you're always taking things down. And when the Hawg is finished taking material off here, we'll have a flat board. Despite the vociferous protests of Chubby Checker, no one likes it when a board twists. When it comes to amateurs, such as myself, I'm convinced that twisting is the main culprit in preventing enjoyment of using hand tools in woodworking. It really is nothing other than grunt work. Actual sweat of brow, tearing of the hands kind of grunt work. And you do it repetitively. You go over the same spot so often, and you're just trying to get it. Here, by the way, I found a peak in the wood. I'm going to have to take that down. Notice how there's only a very small high spot for the plane to see. But back to twisting, you have to have a flat board, especially when you're making panels, long panels like this. You can't get by with twist or any warping of any kind. You've got to bring it down. In order to enjoy it, you have to see a few steps beyond where you are. The finished product, the actual glued up panel. And also, you can appreciate the aerobic and anaerobic qualities of this kind of work. you will be breathing, and your muscles will be tired. They'll burn with lactic acid. But then you can, strut around the house with your t-shirt on in front of your boys to make them fear you, such as I do, and also to woo the woman. That's what woodworking is all about. Wooing women. I have accomplished what I set out to do by using my scrub plane to take out a great deal of material from either end, especially catacorner to each other on one side, flipping the board over and taking an awful lot of material out in the middle, thereby taking out the twist. And now it is time for my Stanley 24 transitional plane, which I love. I love dearly. But sometimes we have a difficult relationship. I'll do a video of that relationship, but why I love it some other time. My name is John David Duke Jr. I am the wool gathering woodworker. May all your tools remain sharp, and may the grain always rise in your direction.